First things first, welcome to the show. And then second off, instead of like, I like to give audiences maybe a little bit of background on both of you guys. Sabrina first, give it just the audiences a little bit of background on who Sabrina is.
Sabrina is a real estate broker in Port St. Joe, Florida. I live on the coast. I'm also a momager to a 20-year-old daughter and an 85-year-old mother who have gone viral on TikTok. And I have four kids. I have a grandbaby. I have another one on the way, top secret. Um, Not top secret anymore. And am just happy to be here. I had a fabulous time on Brand with Jimmy Fallon, and it was a big surprise to get to do something like that. And I'm just a normal, everyday person that got a great opportunity.
Lauren?
I love that. I'm Lauren. I am a full-time traveler. I'm a nomad. I've been nomadic for 3 years. I make travel content, specializing in, small businesses abroad and bringing tourism to, really deserving, amazing family-owned businesses abroad in my travels. Found the On-Brand agency kind of through getting to do that marketing on like a TikTok level. And so getting to do it in New York City for Jimmy Fallon was the dream job. And I'm based primarily in Florence, Italy. So most of the time you can see me at Sweet Life of Lauren in Florence, Italy.
I love that. I love that. I think one of the fascinating things is like seeing the unique perspectives from all of you on this show. Like I think they did a great job casting different people from different backgrounds to really kind of, be inclusive in all of that. But one of the things that, and Lauren, I'll kick it off with you first, is one of the things that I love about the show is seeing the creative process from all of you, right? Because there's the solo part of it, then there's the collaborative process with everybody. But I want to talk to you about your creative process and how you begin that process first before maybe presenting to the team or presenting it to the marketing team.
Absolutely. I think doing content as a job now for a living, I always kind of have that focus on like the viral aspect or kind of what is going to resonate with people in an online setting. And I felt like that was always my first thought. So when we'd get a campaign, I'd be thinking of it, if I'm scrolling and this is a campaign, what would stop me in my tracks as I'm scrolling on TikTok? What's trending at the time? What are people, clicking on and interacting with online? So I feel like that really stemmed like that was the base of most of my ideas. And then I also have a journalist background. So I used to be a news reporter before I became a nomad. And so kind of thinking about the journalistic spin I could put on it. So that like local aspect, that human aspect, really humanizing it, making the story personal. Why would people want to resonate with this campaign? So I kind of brought both of those unique perspectives, into my brainstorming sessions.
To me, so I feel like I brought small town America. All right, so I'm in a small town. The majority of consumers are small town, and I brought that small town America mindset. The majority of the purchasers of these products, what resonates with them. I also kind of had that TikTok social media in the back of my mind because I'm so involved with that now. So I really kind of took that angle of what would make me purchase this? What would make my neighbor purchase this? What would make the person down the street, so always had that in the back of my mind. And just in real estate, I own a real estate brokerage. I've done it for 30 years. It's all I've really ever done. But with that, I've had the opportunity to work with so many different people from so many different backgrounds and bringing that knowledge of what makes that person click, what's going to close that person, what is that so all of that together, they say that everything you do you can use it for something else, and I realized that is true because I didn't know that I could do anything but sell real estate. I didn't know that I could sell anything else or market anything else. So to find out that you really kind of take the same steps just with a different product was really great, and now I feel like I can just market anything.
I love that. And that's one of the interesting perspectives about the show is seeing, like I said, those backgrounds, but also bringing some things to the table. Obviously, this week's challenge for you, Sabrina, the job task was, to impress the folks of Captain Morgan. You work as a team. Obviously, that's that's what's interesting. Early on the show, we see everybody kind of work as individuals. Now we're collectively bringing everybody together, kind of work as a team. Talk to me about working with, Ryan, Bianca, and Piper through that concept and bringing that to life, Sabrina.
Sure. Well, of course, Bianca and I went head to head very competitively right before Captain Morgan. But at the end of the day, we're all friends. We all became friends very fast. And yes, we're all competing. We're all very competitive by nature. And so when we get in that setting, we're going to compete with each other. But then when we're on a team, we're going to work as hard as we can on that team as well. Now, with Ryan and Bianca on the same team, they're both brilliant and have big personalities and big ideas. And I felt like I was kind of sitting in the middle, like watching them going, oh, like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like we came up with a really great product, and it was a combination of Bianca and Ryan's ideas. And so it's just kind of trying to navigate through all of those big personalities and big ideas, because everybody thinks theirs is the best. I mean, that's what we're there for.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that. Obviously, we see kind of a brief glimpse of that, right? They're kind of the butting heads, which is something you always are going to see when you have all of these people in there trying to execute the idea. But how do you feel like you as a collective team, and even as yourself, really overcame that to kind of secure that win?
Well, at the end of the day, we all, had the mindset, we're here to win the account, to win this client for the on brand agency. These are real advertising campaigns that are rolling out. This isn't just a show. We were actually winning these marketing campaigns. And of course, with the Super Bowl, that's just as big as it gets for an advertising. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that. So we really had to just hone in and focus on the goal, which is, what is the client asking for? What did Captain Morgan want? How are we going to make that happen? And I think we hit that at the end of the day. We had a little rough spot in the beginning, but at the end of the day, we came together as a team, and I think we nailed it.
Yeah, talk to me about that win, right? How that win feel? Obviously, winning, the Super Bowl ad, that's awesome in itself. But talk to me about that win for yourself, and maybe being a confidence booster.
To get on the board as an innovator of the week, I mean, to see your picture up there is just a huge confidence booster. I mean, you feel like you've really done something. But we're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, forget the ad. I'm going to the Super Bowl. So yeah, that was a huge win. I would say out of any win the entire season, if I had to say I want to win one, it would be going to the Super Bowl. I mean, this came with something big. And so that was very exciting.
I know if I would have been there, I would have been the same way. I'm like, I don't really care about any other competition. This is the one I need to win. You know what I mean?
Amen. Amen. If I could still do a cartwheel, I would have been doing cartwheels all over that field.
I love that. All right.
But I might have hurt myself.
Me too. I would hurt myself too.
Yes.
All right, Lauren, to me, one of the fascinating things about this, obviously, competition is obviously on the flip side of that Captain Morgan one, you are on the losing side of this. Talk to me about losing effort, but how do you find yourself trying to bounce back from something like that? And how do you try to navigate those losses to bring it to the next challenges?
Absolutely. I think it's about what you could take away from it, so really listening to that client feedback. I think one of the really valuable parts of this show, and I wish they even showed more of it, was truly how much feedback we got. Like, it wasn't just, that 30-second clip you saw at the end. Like, these accounts gave us real time, real feedback. Even Jimmy and Boz. I mean, I was hanging on every word that Bose said. I was like, that's the queen of marketing right there. So any feedback she gave me after a loss, I was taking to heart. And I feel like she really told us to kind of focus more on the briefs and really focusing on what directly they're asking for. It can be easy to get caught up in the excitement of your own ideas and kind of putting your own spin on it, like the viral social aspect, when it's like, okay, this was truly just a stunt, let's focus on the brief, focus on it word for word as is. And so that was, I think, definitely coming off that loss. We tried to refocus myself and my teammates for next week to being like, how can we deliver the best product and best outcome that they're directly asking for? It's not always what we want, it's what they're asking for. What do they need?
Yeah, it's one of the big differences, because like even early on we saw with BT is like his idea and concept for Duncan was like really cool, but it was like not what they're looking for. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to balance, bringing
Exactly.
yourself to the project, but also being inclusive of all of the project itself. But obviously, tonight we're moving into the world of Pillsbury, which obviously is awesome, right? You know what I mean? Lauren, talk to me a little bit about working with Bianca and bringing that Pup and Fresh campaign to life.
Absolutely. I feel like this was one of my favorite weeks because I am on a team with all my friends. It was so exciting. I mean, Sabrina, I love you as well too. I mean, we are all friends. We love everyone. But I was like, Elijah was kind of my closest confidant in the office. I had worked with Bianca before, and Ryan too, kind of being like the younger Gen Z group in the office. It was so fun because I felt like we all were able to work really, really well together. And again, kind of put aside any past competitiveness. Obviously, Bianca and Ryan have gone head to head quite a bit. And I feel like this was a really fun week because we were all on the same page of we're going to have fun and we're going to make this campaign the best possible activation. And I think what also helped too is knowing that there wasn't necessarily an elimination at the end of this episode. So it truly got to be just fun and, bringing this idea to life and kind of having that weight off of our shoulders. So I think truly this Pillsbury episode was one of my favorite ones to film, just because there was so much almost like shenanigans on our end, aside from the campaign.
I love that. Obviously, Sabrina, to you on the flip side, you know what I mean? Working on Piper's Home is Where the Doughboy Is campaign. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I love this campaign. I love Piper so much. She has so far been kind of quiet and laid back, and this was her episode to shine. She came out big, and she's so creative. She's an artist. And so to see what she had on paper actually come to life was amazing. And to be a part of that and be on that team and just the pride, I had so much pride in her. Like I was so proud of her coming out like she did, and she deserved the win. I mean, she did a great job. I loved Bianca's as well. I mean, it was just so much fun. They were very different activations. I don't see how they were able to choose, because it was like choosing between apples and oranges. They were completely different. But it was so, and what was fun about this one was that we actually had an audience. There was a crowd of people. We were in a public place. We had like a studio audience almost. And that was very exciting too, because so much of what we filmed was on set. And so to be able to have that kind of interaction from the crowd and bringing people in, that was so much fun.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So, Lauren, obviously, let's talk about this first. One of my fascinating things about this is like learning from the experiences, right? So, what's something maybe that you learned from your experience on the show that maybe helped you in this next phase of maybe content creation and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Was a COVID graduate, so I graduated 2020, and I've never worked in an office setting before, which my like parents cringe every time I say that. They're like, "You're so young." But I have never truly put on a blazer and gone into the office. So like that first day you saw me walk into the on-brand agency, I was imposter syndrome times 1,000. I was like, I've never done this. You know what I mean? I was a remote worker, and then I quit my job to do content full time. So very, very kind of out of my comfort zone. And I felt like I, learned that I could do it, that my outside experiences still directly, translated to real tangible skills. And, kind of having this life and global experience that I've been having is able to translate into an office setting and allow me to, do these pitches just like I would, get in front of my camera and make a pitch on TikTok almost, and do it in a real life setting. So that was definitely an experience that I feel like I'll carry with me so much, and just the confidence too. And, getting to do this on such a large scale gave me such confidence going forward to kind of take on any challenge now.
Same thing. I mean, I'm 55. I thought I was winding it down, like headed toward retirement. I've just I didn't realize I was going to gear up a whole nother career path. But I've only really sold real estate. I've been a real estate broker for over 30 years. I really thought all I could do was sell houses, and I just didn't know how to do anything else. And I realized I can do anything. My life's not over. I'm just right in the middle. Like I'm, can still do a lot of things. And it was really such a confidence booster to realize that in a way I've still got it. Like I can still do big things and different things than what I've done my entire career. So that was really exciting for me. And the opportunity to experience all of that and be on TV, and I mean, just all of it at my age was just amazing. I mean, Lauren is just starting out. She's so young. She has such an amazing future ahead of her. She's so talented and brilliant. And then for me to get to do that and experience that, like it wasn't on my bingo card, but boy, am I happy it happened.
Girl, you're just getting started. I'm telling you, this
Girl.
is the beginning of a new era of Sabrina. We're about to see Sabrina everywhere. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness, that would be fun.
I agree.
I would be all for
think
that.
it's just yeah. I think I agree with that as well. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to see the different backgrounds, but for me, it's like your personality. It's like, why haven't you been on TV for like the last 20 years almost? You know what I'm saying? Like watching you Sabrina on the TV. It's just like you're fun, you're vibrant, and like it's nice to have these conversations and see that the same person I saw on my TV is the same person that we're getting right here. So I love that aspect of things. So
really, Ricky, why haven't I been NBC? Why haven't I been on TV?
Yeah, we're
I want to
ready
know.
for season 2.
I want to know too. I want to know the answer to that question.
Absolutely. All right, I got a fun one before we go here, right? Sabrina, first to you. Do you have a dream collaboration that you would love to work with in the future?
A dream collaboration. Oh my goodness. I am such a big fan of Leanne Morgan right now. Like she is hilarious to me. Her new show on Netflix. Like I want to come in on season 3 as like her cousin. I want to come in there and collaborate with her. I want to be her cousin on her new show. I just love her. I think a collaboration with her would be a lot of fun. We're about the same age and Southern. Honey, we'd be like a dynamic duo.
Lauren, to you.
I love that. Well, me and Sabrina are actively trying to get cast on Traders. We
Yes, we
decided
are.
today. So
Mhm.
throwing that out there first, NBC, call us.
On the
But
same season. Yes.
but besides Traders, I would say my dream collaboration, I've been trying to work with them forever, so this is my chance, is Outback Steakhouse. They're blooming brands. They started in Tampa. I'm a University of Tampa graduate. I want them to send me to the Outback, infusing that travel, vibes into it. I love a bloomin' onion, and I could go eat a bloomin' onion in the Outback. So let's talk Outback.
I'm posting these everywhere. I'm gonna tag it. I'm gonna tag it. Leah Morgan. I'm gonna tag Outback. We're gonna make this happen. We're making
Yep,
these
bloomin'
collabs
brand.
happen.